Hey guys, it's Monique here. Welcome to my health diary. I'm here with the lovely Lynette Hill. She's a registered naturopath. And for me, as you guys know, if you've been following my journey, she's been an absolute life changer. So thank you for joining me on my health diary today. I'm super excited.
You're welcome.
And also keep an eye out over the next few weeks. You'll see more and more.
Week as well.
Ooh, kombucha. Actually, before we even start, I want to say a big hi to everybody. And I want to know where you guys are from. If you're watching and you're in the newsfeed, please let me know what part of the world you're watching from, because I know we have a lot of people from all sorts of different parts of the country and around the world watching, so let us know. And if you've got any comments or questions while we're live, this lady is an expert when it comes to natural medicine and wellness, so if you've got any questions, yell and I'll pass them to the expert. So Lynette, it's a beautiful time in my life. You've helped me out heaps. You've helped me change my health naturally. You're a naturopath. You've trained as a homeopath as well. Is that correct?
That's right.
What do you actually do?
I wonder. Sometimes I do wonder.
Just for these guys, so they know.
Yeah, so as a naturopath, I'm looking at finding out what's going on with your health. So really looking at why you have symptoms rather than just what the symptoms are, and then working out what could be fixed in your body. So is this a liver problem? Is this an adrenal problem? Is this a habit, diet, lifestyle problem? And then implementing some changes, but always with natural medicines. In saying that, often alongside medication, because once you're on medication, there's a reason for it, but the way I treat is always with natural medicine.
Absolutely. Now, one of the reasons that I went to Lynette, first of all, is that I had unexplained weight gain, so I thought I ate really healthy. I had IBS, which I've had for 25 years, and I had really high blood pressure and I was pre-diabetic. And so one of the first things she actually did was she sat down and she pricked my finger. And she actually took a blood sample at that time and she had a look under this microscope. It's called a focus spect, is that right?
Focus spect, and it's live blood observation.
Wow, yeah. And so they can have a look in your blood and they can kind of see what's going on. You can't use it to diagnose though, can you?
No, it's so the biggest part of what we do in consultation is talking to you, and that's really, I think, the biggest thing that sets us apart from allopathic or modern medicine. And we talk for a good 45 minutes and go through all your body systems and what's going on. And it did take a good 45 minutes.
I laughed, I cried, I talked about having diarrhea, I talked about bloating a dress size every day.
Every single thing that you could talk about. And it was quite long. I think it might have taken a bit longer.
It was like an hour and a half.
Yeah. And then what I do is I use focus spect, which is also known as HemoView. But basically it's the ability to look at your live blood under a dark field microscope, which is a very high-powered tool. And we just look at the size of the red blood cells and what's going on with the white blood cells. We're looking for signs of inflammation, signs of pathogens, just different things that confirm what you've been talking about to me, and it just gives me an idea of the best place to start, how gentle or how aggressive to be with the recommendations that I make. So it's just another tool in my kit.
It was amazing. I found out what my blood type was, which was really cool because I had no idea. And I also found out that my blood cells were collapsing and that I needed good omegas in my diet. In fact, she could see that I had some allergies going on, and she could actually see what was going on with my gut as well. So it's been a real life changer. Totally recommend it. If you want to find out more, myremedy.co.nz, just Google them and you can find out about how they work with you. But I thought tonight, because we're opening up my health diary, and I'm talking to a lot of people about their health. Everybody seems to be asking me questions, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not a doctor, I don't know. But I know what it's like to be human and to be trapped inside a body that doesn't seem to function properly. So I thought I'd throw some of these questions at you, and because people are sharing them with me. So most recently, there was a lady who commented on our live streams.
That's right.
And she also has sent in some messages to the My Remedy Facebook page, and it's to do with medication. So I know that a lot of you guys have been on, and I've been on medication before for a long-term condition. What happens when you come off that medication? How do you deal with the effects of coming off the medication, and what do you do? Because there can be a whole bunch of symptoms that can happen when you come off medication.
Absolutely. And the first disclaimer I would want to make is never choose to come off a medication without first consulting the doctor. That's monitoring you and has put you on it. So if there's a medication you need to be on, particularly for mental health or autoimmune conditions or high blood pressure, you need to be on it if it's effective. And if it's not, you need to be talking to your doctor. But quite often it is appropriate to come off medications, that you may only be on it for a short time, or you may be on it for a reason. When you do come off it, if you're experiencing symptoms, so often when you come off the pill, for example, your hormones might go all over the place.
Yeah.
If you come off antidepressants, it needs to be done very, very gently. And often our body will go into what's called a detox. So we'll suddenly feel nauseous or headaches.
Not like a good detox.
Not nice. Our body detoxes every day, and we should sleep through it. It's about 2 to 3 in the morning. So if you're waking up then, you know you're not detoxing all that gently.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yes, I do. I need to look after my liver.
You
clearly.
do. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
We all do.
Yeah.
So basically, it really depends what medication you're coming off, including sugar. Like you can even come off sugar, would you believe? Well, yes, you would.
I can. I had a run-in with sugar yesterday, and it was just not good.
That's right. So alcohol, medication,
caffeine,
sugar, anything, your body's going to go, I feel different, and give me that stuff back. So as a naturopath, we usually focus on the liver at that point, and we look at how's the liver doing, how much stress is it under, how can we help it a little bit more. We may look at your elimination pathways. So if you're not having a good healthy bowel motion every day, we want that to be well established before we start asking the body to throw stuff out.
And we're talking healthy. So if those of you who've got upset guts and you're thinking, well, I'm still going at 3 or 4 or 5 times a day, we're talking about good solids. I don't want to go into details, but I speak from experience here.
A nice one.
A nice one.
So yeah, so it really does depend what you're doing, how you're coping with it, and that's something that we do a lot, is really making that process easier. Also, making sure that there's, is there counselling needed? Is there a homeopath or a hypnotherapist needed to help with some of the behaviours that may be in behind those medications? And looking at why you went on that medicine in the first place, and do we need to do a wee bit of support for that reason as well?
So would you say then natural medicine, or the approach with natural medicine, is more about addressing the deeper level rather than putting a band-aid on something?
Absolutely. It's going for the cause. We're like health detectives. So so why is it that this is happening, has happened, or continues to happen? And it may be that you still need medication. In fact, we've actually sent people back and said, for goodness sakes, get back on that medication and let us do our work, and then we can look at
supporting
whether
them
it's still
through that.
needed. Yeah.
So for those of you who are like me, I'm going to out myself. I used to drink 3 litres of Coke Zero a day.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I did a lot of damage to my gut through doing that, and I did that for about 15 years.
Yeah.
So no wonder my adrenal glands were shot, right? And my gut was terrible. Yeah.
Oh.
It's also led to the enamel breaking down on my teeth. I have a broken tooth because of it. It's just not good. So the only way I could get out of that was actually to go cold turkey. And that was probably 4 years ago, and even now when I see Coke Zero, I still crave it. Yeah. That's how deep those cravings are.
There's some emotional link there as well, isn't there?
Massively.
Yeah.
But I went cold turkey anyway, but the detox coming off that was horrific, with the headaches and the nausea and everything you can imagine. So if you are, regardless of if it's a medication or you're detoxing something out of your life, it could be alcohol, it could be caffeine, if you're getting a lot of headaches like I used to get, or the shakes, go gentle, and do talk to somebody like Lynette who can help you through it.
It is actually possible to detoxify from some pretty nasty stuff without too much pain, but there are things that we have, natural medicines and different processes that we use to really make it very, very gentle, because sometimes the last thing we want you to do is we don't ever want you to go through that. Sometimes it's necessary, and when it's sugar or something like that's not quite so dangerous, go for it. But if it's something, a medication, it can actually drop you into depression or anxiety. So we need to be really careful. Yeah.
And remember too, sugar is 9 times more addictive than cocaine. How you doing? Oh, new comment at the bottom as well. And Lambert, that's exactly what I've done. There you go. Congratulations, Anne. Anne has lost a whole bunch of weight and she's looking amazing and her health is just incredible. So congratulations to you, Anne. I'm so proud of you. You're doing Anita Ann Lambert. I missed your first part of your name, honey. All right, next question. This came up from a chat. I was having out, if you guys saw on my Facebook feed the other night, I was out with a whole bunch of boss babes like ourselves. We were all talking about everything to do with life, and one of the questions that came up was, how do I know if I've hit menopause? So for you ladies, or if you've got a lady in your life who's in her 40s, it's going to happen at some stage. So the question is, how do you know if it's happening, and what can you do about it? I've got no idea. Okay. But I had a hot flush today, so I'm wondering if I'm on the verge.
That is definitely one of the symptoms.
Dear.
I would say, and I have a wee giggle about it, you normally know you've hit menopause because everyone's saying, what's different about you? You know, why are you so grumpy or stroppy? You know, I definitely think we come into ourselves. I've been going through menopause quite gently since I was 39, so I was a really early starter, and it's been this long, drawn-out process, and I'm just about there. Things that can happen. The most commonly known one is a hot flush. If you're having like that real rise of heat for any time of the day, often at night, that's generally a sign of menopause. Your periods are going to change. They're going to get probably lighter and lighter and a bit odd and not as effective. You may feel like, was that it?
Oh wow.
Yeah, and irregularity. You'll find things dry out, all sorts of things. So your vagina may dry out a little bit and it'd be a little bit more discomfort there. You may find your skin gets drier, your hair gets drier. You may find all sorts of changes about your body. Breasts can become tender.
I've heard a lot of people gain weight during menopause as well.
And particularly out the front. It's like this area here. If you've been pregnant, you can look down and think, my 4 months pregnant again. Oh, no. So it's quite an inflammatory time, and inflammation changes your mood, so that's a big key. But it actually doesn't need to be all that hard, and I see a lot of women with menopause. In fact, it's a huge part of
your practice.
My practice at the moment. I think I'm attracting them. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
But it's a really tough time for some people, and when we just do a few basic changes, it becomes like the experience I'm having of, you know, it's all right. It's not the end of the earth. I'm getting through it. Every now and then I get a bit warm. I'm very honest with my family now. I tell them that actually really does annoy me. It annoyed me last month. Don't do it again next month.
Okay, perfect.
So, you know, it's a good thing.
It is. It sounds great. The only memories I have of anybody going through menopause were some of my friends' mothers when I was young, and they just kind of went a bit kooky. Is that normal?
Yeah, it's sort of a bit mad, a bit, you know what it's like? It's like going through puberty, but you can't like run into your bedroom and slam the door and lie on the bed because you've still got the housework and you've still got the job and you've still like you just can't behave like that. So it's kind of like delayed puberty.
Oh, good, great. There we go, team. Because I know some of you have been messaging me about that and wondering as well. So I thought I'd refer that on to the expert. And for you lovely ladies who are out with us on Friday night, there you go, ladies.
Yes, less alcohol, more water, and definitely you've got a lot of work to do with your liver around menopause.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Hey, good to see you guys if you've just popped onto the stream, by the way. Lovely to have you here. I'm with Lynette Hill. She is a registered naturopath. She's from My Remedy. You guys might have seen us together a whole bunch before. This is actually my health diary, so you guys get to hear a little bit of what's going on in my health journey. So I've basically transform my health in my 20s. Lynette's more than happy to ask. It's not just about lady stuff either. It's about guy stuff too. It's about kids stuff. It's about stress at work. Whatever you want to talk about, this is kind of your forum to be able to do that. If you don't feel comfortable sending questions in during the stream, you can PM me with those questions and I can put them up on the screen. So not with your name, of course, just we can be anonymous so that people who might be struggling with the same challenges can get the answer too. So on that point, we've got one more question for you.
Okay.
Here's a good one. I've been in so many Facebook groups, people who are dieting, they're on keto, they're on low carb, they're on Weight Watchers, they're part of Slimmers World, they're doing Jenny Craig, whatever they're doing. They want to know, why am I always hungry? Even for people who aren't on a diet plan and they can eat whatever they want. Why am I always hungry? That's a good one, eh?
There are so many reasons. And first of all, I would say anxiety is a big one. So if you've got high cortisol, you'll be looking for what I call fast food, so white food, so rice crackers, chips,
bread,
sugar, little things like that, things that give you a little bit of energy right now, but there's no sustenance, there's no nourishment from them.
And those foods, particularly the sugar and things like chocolate and stuff as well, even though it's not white, it's brown unless you eat white chocolate.
It's white in there somewhere.
It hits the dopamine, the reward center of the brain, right? Yeah. So it gives you that short fix of feel good, man.
But it keeps you hungry because you burn through it really fast, and then you're like, I need more because I'm still stressed. So that's a big one. So I'd always look at how stressed are you and what are you eating if you're always hungry. And with diets, when you put on a diet for a reason and it's sort of been assessed by somebody, like for you with the carb test that you did, you worked out that carbs were just not working for you.
Not at all.
So, you've really embraced the low carb diet. For someone like me, that would not work and I'd always be hungry. So are you actually on the sort of the Monique appropriate diet, the one that you need to be on.
Each diet's unique to our DNA effectively, isn't it?
Exactly. And some people do really well on the paleo and some people don't. So making sure your diet suits you, making sure that it's really, really full of nutrients. So it's nutrient rich, it's the low GI foods, it's high in iron, that it's real food, whole food as much as possible. Are you eating enough? Are you eating often enough? Are you eating too often? Because it's a really good thing to get hungry and then eat a nutrient dense meal and then be not hungry for a while.
That's true.
There's also chromium. If you're low in chromium, you're going to crave, you have dinner and then you want something afterwards.
Oh that's chromium.
It can be low chromium. You may be going into diabetes, which is a big thing, where you start to crave those white foods again.
Right, and the sugars.
Yeah, and it could be your gut. If your gut is just not digesting properly and breaking those nutrients down into, micro and macronutrients, then you're not absorbing them and your body's going, still hungry, give me more.
Well, there you
go.
So
that's why.
So there you go. It goes. If you guys have followed my website and you've read some of my blogs on dealing with cravings or dealing with addictions to food and what cravings mean, you'll probably know some of that will resonate with you guys as well. I didn't know about the chromium. I think it's on one of the diagrams in there, but I don't know much about chromium because it's not my area of expertise. I'm a foodie. I'm not this genius, but it is true. That's true. So what I know from my experience is that when my nutrients aren't balanced, I do get really hungry, and when my body's getting everything it needs, it tells me, and that's probably why I don't really have any cravings anymore.
No. But you've done the work too. You've done a lot of emotional work. You've done the gut work. You've looked at the diet that suits you. So you've looked at the whole thing. You haven't just gone, oh, that sounds like really good. Maybe it will work for me, and just gone off. Well, you have done that.
I've tried that for 25 years. This time's the one that works. Yeah. So true. So true. Oh man, that was good. I like it a lot. Lynette, if people want to get in touch with you, obviously through your website, myremedy.co.nz. I'll share the link in the news feeds below once we're off the stream. Two things I do want to shout out about tonight though, or today I should say. Two of the things I always have in my cupboard, and you guys have heard me talk about this before. This has been amazing. This is Chillax. This is a really gentle and amazing spray. If you know about Rescue Remedy is really good for acute stress. Chillax is amazing. You'll find there's not much left because, I get a little bit stressed sometimes. I'll just pop it there. It is really perfect for those of you who get a little bit fractious or a bit precious like I do, particularly if you've got kids and they're starting to drive you a little crazy, or if you're rushed from like meeting to meeting and you get a bit overwhelmed. This has been really amazing. You just spray it into your mouth and look, it's really good to help you find your zen space in the middle of all that panic. One of the other things that travels around with me is this. This is my homeopathic kit. This is from My Remedy. What I love is that both of these things can actually be used on children as well, because they are really gentle. If you don't know much about homeopathy, can you give me In one sentence, what does homeopathy do?
So homeopathy just gives the body a little bit of a nudge in the right direction. So it's a small amount of a medication that promotes a small change. So if you've got a headache, we might give you something like belladonna, that if you were otherwise fine, belladonna would give you a headache. So we match your symptoms to a homeopathic remedy in order for the body to get over it a little bit faster.
So then the body creates its own recovery mode?
It usually just speeds things up a little bit. Yeah, we love it. I mean, with children, you know, there's a lot of talk about placebo, and when I open my 2000 remedies, I look at all my placebos. But for a child who doesn't really care, who's teething, and we give them some chamomile in the form of chamomilla, it just soothes them. It just helps them to get over it faster and not be so miserable. So
and they don't
very gentle.
They don't even know what placebos are.
They don't know. They don't care. Neither do animals.
So good. If you want to know about those, I believe Pete's going to share the links into the news feed for how you can get your hands on those. They can be shipped out to you. The homeopathy kit also comes with an online course. So if you're really interested in looking after the health of your family, you can do the online course that goes with it. The course is only $40, and you basically get a whole understanding of how all these remedies work and how you can use them at home. Really good for you kindy teachers as well. We know that you struggle with stress, or you get, you know, your immune system can get a little bit tired, and you might get a headache at work or something like that. It's just a really, really good. Can't recommend it highly enough. You can get them, both of these things, through the My Remedy website. So I really wanted to share that with you guys today. All the links are being put into the news feeds there for you guys. But remember, every Monday is a talk about health. So whether it's a big show like Health Bites, or a little chat like this, which is about my own health journey that we can share with you, send me in your questions, because I will put them to Lynette and see how we can help you get some answers, particularly for those of you who have been asking around and you still haven't got that final answer as to what's going on with you. So Lynette.
Oh, here we go.
Final question of the day. What's the big health tip? What do you want people to think about this week? No pressure.
Oh, goodness me. Okay, so since I'm talking about kombucha this week, there's been a lot of press recently about the only good amount of alcohol is no alcohol, which sounds pretty miserable.
I was just going to say, where's the fun in that?
I know, but it is a really good idea to start introducing alcohol-free days. And some of the things I talk to my patients about are ways to make that happen. So one of my favorite tips is a little glass of something like kombucha, or a little bit of fizzy water and a bit of, you know, apple juice or something in it.
That's what I'm doing today.
Which I call fizzy bubbly. And having it in a wine glass just makes it so much easier to start introducing those alcohol-free days. Do consider if you can have 1 or 2 more a week to give your liver a little bit of a break, and just start to reduce that alcohol consumption. But I'm not going to say how much you should reduce it.
Perfect. And health tip from me, talk. Use your voice. If you're not feeling great, talk to somebody about it. Ask a health professional. Talk to somebody in your friends or your family group that you trust. Have that conversation, because chances are you may not be the only one, or if you are, they'll help you get the help you need. Right. All right, time for us to go. Big thanks to lovely Pete, who is behind the scenes putting together this show for us and sharing the links and doing all the cool camera stuff. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate you greatly. We've got to head away. Thanks, guys, and remember, every Monday is a chance for you to ask us questions about your health. Of course, we can't while we're live, we can't do any sort of diagnosis or anything like that, but we can have that conversation with you to help you explore your options when it comes to making better informed decisions about your own health. That's what these shows are all about. Thank you, Lynette. As always, an absolute pleasure, and keep on keeping on this week. I look forward to your live stream about kombucha.
Okay, I better do it then.
Excellent, excellent. And yeah, keep the questions coming.